Hey everyone, welcome back to the garden. I have a bunch of random gardening tasks that I want to get done today, and I have everything ready to go. I have pruners, shears, hedge trimmers, my gardener supply, cleanup bag. I have my bulbs because I want to get those planted. So everything's ready. Let's go. So the weather has taken us a little bit by surprise. It got cold really fast again this year, although it warmed back up. But there's a couple of cold nights have made things really mushy, and I feel like now we're up against it. Some things might not get cleaned up until the spring. Some things, like up on our rain garden berm, and I'm not 100% worried about those, but some things that are at the front of the house or right around the foundation beds, those I do want to get cleaned up because mushy over the winter can harbor all kinds of pests and diseases, so that's something we definitely want to get cleaned up. So the first thing I want to do is get the bulbs planted. So I have 2 bags of the pink and white, I think they're called Pink Cup Charm daffodils, because these are the same ones that I ordered last year. We planted a bunch in different locations in the garden, but the ones we planted in our 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 bed came up white. So I want the pink and white, so I ordered more. There's 2 bags. I think there's 10 in each. And then I have more 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 alliums. I think there are 15 in here. So let me show you where I want to plant these. So I think because we have no bulbs in this bed that we just extended a few weeks ago, this was our final planting project. I think I'm going to put at least a couple of the daffodils in here and probably maybe 5 of the alliums. And then I think over here, because we don't have any bulbs in the bed in front of our deck, which we extended last year, I think I'm going to put some of both in here as well. So I have to be a little bit careful about where I plant anything in here because we are going to be rearranging stuff in the spring. The rose, which is kind of next to you, I think might come back here. These 3 blue 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 are going to come forward. The hedge of germander are going to come out. So, I mean, that leaves plenty of room kind of in a swoop following the arc of the edge of the bed for some daffodils. And again, I have quite a lot of daffodils. I'm wondering if I ordered too many, to be quite honest with you. 20? Maybe not. I don't think I want 10 in here. This bed isn't that big. So I'm sure all you guys know this, but in case you don't, they get planted pointy side up, flat, rooty side down. I'm going to put one right in front of you guys. Kind of have a double here. I'm going to put that between the 2 boxwoods, and I'll show you where all these land because I know you can't see me right now. 3, 4 here. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 1 right in my shadow, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think before I put any of the alliums out, let's see about putting some daffodils here. I think one would look really pretty right next to the stairs here. That'll be a nice clump. These are 16 to 18 inches. 16, 18 inches tall. Yeah, so that'll look pretty there. Maybe 1 here right in front of our penstemon. This is just the straight native penstemon digitalis. Another one here between this allium and this boxwood. I think we can put, I have to remember too, we want to respace these roses, so I still think I can get one there. Yeah, like somewhere here. Whoops, this rose is going to come slightly this way. This one is going to come slightly this way. For now, I'm going to see if I can get it here. I know there's concrete somewhere at the edge of our patio, but I think that'll be okay. So that's what, 4? All right, so I think that's fine. All right, let's work on the alliums. I really do think I ordered too many daffodils. We can probably put even some right here because there's no perennials or anything here. Now that we've moved all of the daylilies, we'll probably put one right here. We usually have a container here, but by the time we put our summer container here, daffodils will be done. I have one small one left. We don't have any bulbs on this side other than the purple sensation allium. We have a few on this side, and then we have a few on the other side of the dry creek bed. So we might be able to put more here even. We already have a bunch of bulbs in this berm area between the roses and the sugar and spice arborvitae. They go right up to where the little Henry are. I do think I want to put some of the alliums in here. I don't think we need any more daffodils in there. So I still have a bag of 10. But for now, let's place some of the alliums in here. So with the alliums, I initially thought I wanted to put some way in the back there, but that's under the eaves of the house, and I don't want to have to water constantly up under the eaves of the house. So I'm just going to scatter, again, keeping in mind that some of these shrubs are going to move. I kind of kept it in a little bit of the same swoop. All right, let's get these planted. I'm not using any bulb tone or anything like that. I typically don't use anything when I plant my bulbs. As usual, I forgot a nailing pad, and I actually went to get my little bulb auger because this ground is just really, really hard to dig. Because as you can see, it's just wet clay. Just trying not to make a mess. Just not easy either. All right, guys, so I got all the bulbs in that bed. I want to move on now. I still have a bunch of bulbs to plant, but I want to move on to starting to clean up because we're starting to lose light. I want to get to the front bed, start cleaning up the hostas. So let's move out there. So as you can see here, a lot of the hostas have already gone mushy. That's why it's easiest to clean these up before this happens. But like I said, the weather caught up with us much quicker than anticipated. So I think it's gonna be a little bit harder to clean these up now, but got to get it done. It's just not very attractive. And this can hide all kinds of nasties underneath there. So that's why we want to get these cleaned up. I was going to use my hedge trimmers. I don't think it's going to work with these. It might work with some of the other ones. Like these hostas right here are still looking pretty good. Let's see how this is going to go. I have everything I need. Pop-up bag, kneeling pad, glove. I've got my grass pruners again and a pair of regular pruners just to see what's going to work better here. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's just too squishy for those. They just don't grab on. I'm going to give the hedge pruners a try because neither the pruners nor the grass clippers are really working on these squishy stems. Tell you what, I've never had such a hard time pruning hostas. Still not cut. All right, so it definitely looks better, but this is why I like to get to the cleanup before it's too late, because this is way harder than it needed to be. All right, let's tackle this other one. Definitely looks better. I just feel like I can't get in there low enough because these things are so, I don't know if they're partially frozen. I don't think that's what it is. They're just really, really thick, which is part of the reason why we want to, I don't know if we want to remove these completely or divide them in the spring, but you can see, I think you can see the poor little lady's mantle. So much smaller than it used to be because these are enormous. I mean, even the carex has been completely overtaken by these two hosta in particular. I mean, look at these two carex compared with this one. Look at these two ladies' mantle compared with that one. Even this one a little bit. These hostas have gotten out of control. Yes, they definitely need to be divided. And I think because they're so difficult, I'm actually going to take some of these bigger ones down. And then I'll turn you around and talk about what I bought to go here that will get planted in the spring. There's a 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 right here. I have to be careful not to step on that. Yeah, so much easier. This is how I thought those other ones were going to go. It really does look so much better. I'm going to turn you around and show you. And there's actually some Jacob's ladder in here I want to clean up too, because it looks like they were suffering a little bit from powdery mildew, and you don't want to keep that in the garden over the winter. To me, it just looks so much cleaner. I'll clean up those couple of stalks, but here are the Jacob's ladder. You can see they're dormant now. Obviously, they do have some basil foliage, but we got really cold really quickly, and that kind of killed off a lot of it. I want to get these cleaned up too. There is basil foliage. I'm going to leave it. If it's not diseased, I do see some powdery mildew on this one. I also see some weeds, so I will definitely pull those. Yeah, I see some powdery mildew on this one too, so let me get these stalks cut and I'll show you what I mean. There was a third one in here somewhere. I don't know if it just disappeared over the summer. It was always small, but see if I can get you down. See that? That's powdery mildew, so I'm going to get rid of that. I also want to pull these sun patients, because you can see the couple of 20-degree nights we had really frizzled them. Hopefully they come out easily. Nope, not really. I really shouldn't be using my grass shears for this, but we're not precious on this channel. These came out easily. I'll show you what that looks like in a second. In the meantime, my husband is going to get the variegated iris that are, they kind of disguise in the spring and summer, are wellhead, but they have to be cut back. They're a mess. They just lay down on the ground. That's where the New Guinea impatiens were. We'll probably just plant more there next year. We've been doing that for the last couple of years. I think it looks really nice. So yeah, these are just variegated iris. They bloom purple. They look really pretty in the summer, but you can see what happens, especially if they don't get enough moisture. They just kind of all lay down. Yes, we'll see our wellhead, but I do like a clean garden. Okay, Rob is still working back there. I'll show you what that looks like. It looks so much cleaner. In the meantime, I got the rest of the hostas cleaned up on the other side. So let's take a look at that real quick. Okay, so as you can see, all of the hostas from over here have been cleaned up. Now, what did we want to do over here? I think I already mentioned. In the middle here, kind of right where this little pumpkin stake is, there are 2 more hostas in there. The last couple of summers, they've gone dormant really, really early. They're blue hostas. I don't know if blue hostas just need more water, and it is really dry here, especially in the last 2 summers. So maybe that's why they've gone dormant early, but I feel like I could use a more evergreen interest right here. So I did buy 2 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 holly to go in here. Now, we're not going to plant them now because I want to see if the hostas come back, because if they do, then we can move them someplace else. But I just think some more evergreen interest there in the winter is going to look nice, because this hydrangea will be dormant. You don't really get any evergreen interest until we get back here with the ajuga, which will be evergreen. We have the yew, we have the 2 Rejoice 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲, and then we have the boxwood. So, and I do like the variegated color, the green, the yellow, the pink of the 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 holly, which will also complement the carex grasses here in the summer. So here's a look at where the 𝗟𝗶𝗸𝗲 holly will go. Show you from this side as well. And you can actually see that's one of the hostas. So I do think these are going to look nice here in all 4 seasons. Let's see, Rob is done. I'm not going to clean up the ladies' mantle over here. I'll let them get some sun. Yeah, looks so much better. Like I said, yes, you can see our wellhead, but it'll only be until April when the irises come back out. And again, now the hellebores can breathe. Do have several in here, so there's some here. I won't cut them back until late winter, because I do see some new little foliage down there. There's another one there. There's a couple of more there, and there's one over here on the other side of the bird bath, which we have turned over because we did get down to 27 degrees a couple nights. I'm letting Rob do the rest of the bulbs in the interest of time. Like I said earlier, we're losing light, and he just uses the auger much better than I do. He's already got that one down there. So I went ahead and placed about 5 alliums in here. One right where Rob is working. There's one under him. You can see that. There's one up front here. There's one there between the alliums, the boxwood, and the penstemon, and one back there. I wanted to put an allium here. You can see between the lilac trunk, the clematis, and the deck, but eventually this lilac standard will get quite large, and I think it'll create too much shade for the allium there, and I don't want to have to move an allium in 4 or 5 years. So Actually, I don't know how long it's going to take for that lilac standard to get big, but I don't want to move an allium. All right, guys, that's it for today for the bulbs. I'm excited to see the daffodil that we planted kind of right there at the edge of our patio, what it's going to look like in the spring when it's blooming at the same time as the beautiful black tulip magnolia. All right, guys, I think that's going to be it for today. I guess we'll wait and see in the spring what these bulbs do and where they come up. I hope you enjoyed. Thanks for coming along, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Bye.